What it do, what it is. It's your boy, the Peace Dealer, here to handle his biz. Shout out to those of y'all who have shown up. Congratulations. You are going to be blessed with some mother bleep magic. Shout out to Nas. Shout out to Chad, the Maverick in the building. You are now a moderator. I have moderated you. No, I was joking. Shout out to all of y'all, though. Um, yeah, I just want to. The pizza did work. I ate a cheese pizza today. I had a slice. Um, I'm gonna just take some time and wait for a few more of y'all to show up. But I hope you're enjoying this new moon cycle. How many of you have already felt like the energy just clear? Like it's just cool. It's flowing. I know I'm a bit biased here. I love how we got a dislike so quickly. Okay, never mind. They got it. I was about to say which one of you saw my face and just got mad and just was like, I'm just gonna press the dislike button right now. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Ooh, I ran a hotel in your dream. Thank you for letting me know that. That's what's up. I'm running the Astro Hotel, the Astro Hotel. Oh, um, no, Light Cruise. I did not see that documentary. If you don't mind, please email it to me at thepeacedealer@gmail.com. Okay, which one of y'all hit that dislike button? Like, which one of y'all saw my gorgeous face, all right, and was like, you know what, screw this man. We didn't even start the video. I'm just gonna press the dislike. Can one of y'all at least let me know who did it? Like, who's out here disliking my lives? Okay, it is what it is. Once again, please hit that like button if you didn't hit it yet already. I want to really thank each and all of y'all for coming through and showing love. If we take stock of this process, it's a huge blessing. It's a major blessing. Okay. And I'm definitely very grateful. I don't remember when I started doing these ceremonies. I know it was like 2017 now, so that means I do remember. Maybe even 2016. So I thought one of you thought you were funny and you're like, I'm gonna hit the dislike, and you unliked it. Thank you. You're probably gonna hit it again, but it is what it is. Yeah. I promise you, I'm not a stickler for likes or dislikes. I'm just totally being anal right now. But yeah, I've been doing these ceremonies for a good like 2 years, and we've definitely come a long way. So, it's really awesome. A lot of people have been able to bond. Y'all think you're slick. I see that. But it's all good. A lot of us have been able to connect through these. It's honestly in my sincerest hope that at least by this point, you've really come to see the true value in these and have experienced real results from these. And as a result, I'm so thankful and grateful for the feedback emails I get. Some of you are not shy to share your experiences with these ceremonies and the effects with which we have created. Never want any of you to think that I'm the reason why, magic has occurred in your life. The whole phenomena and mechanism behind these ceremonies is that we all gather together and, connect our energies and remind each other the power of numbers. So definitely, amazed that we're able to do this. I don't necessarily see a platform like this as like too beneath me. For some of you, it may be beneath you, but especially even if you may not think it's beneath you, it actually may be, but it's not really beneath me or anybody really, right? But Yeah, I'm grateful I could share my talents like so. I think it's awesome that we can definitely come together. This new moon in Gemini cycle for me is definitely changing my life a whole lot. Ready to personally invest a lot more time and focus towards different channels and avenues. So you're going to see me take away a couple series, this one included. This is the very, this is, it's a little bittersweet to say, but we keep things moving here. This is the very last live ceremony that I'm going to do on this channel. This new moon in Gemini ceremony is going to be the last one that I do here on the Peace Dealer. Every other ceremony for new and full moons that I do in future are going to be exclusively on High Vibe. Okay. Apollodati and I are going to be doing a ceremony tomorrow on High Vibe TV. So definitely be sure to join. And I totally feel y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like we totally had moments here and, you know, definitely connected. I just enjoyed coming to these ceremonies just to connect with y'all. With no super chat. It wasn't about exchanging anything. It's just totally like really connecting and really being cool. Leanne Howard asked, is that a paid thing? They will be paid. As opposed to really just me talking on transits, we're definitely going to have much more of a structured and detailed vibe. So it'll be Apollodati and I will really be kicking game on the transits, and then also be pulling cards as well to kind of per each sign break down what to expect for the cycle. Okay, so I know some of you may not be thrilled with this change. I am officially a part of High Vibe Television. And so, being that, and it is great news, by the way. Shout out to Victoria. This is actually great news. Like, I know some of you are going to act like the whole act of joining High Vibe is like pulling teeth. High Vibe TV is not Future Life. So the platform is way much better integrated. So if you truly enjoy these, you could totally, join High Vibe if you're really, really about it. But if not, I totally understand. It's been real. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, it's a paid event, but this is not about the money. So shout out to Danielle. You said get your money, Mike. I feel you. This isn't about the money for me. I can already tell you right off the bat, I don't really think I'm going to be making that much money doing these events, but it's something that me and Apollodati have agreed on. So I'm totally down. I'm ready to do this. If you want to join High Vibe TV, the link in the description box is below. So we're going to make this last ceremony count. I have a magic book with me. We're going to set intentions. This is going to be really simple. This is a 2020 portal activation. So this ceremony we're going to do is definitely going to allow us to set our intentions for the next month. So we're going to gather our elements, right? We're going to gather our energies together, rather, and then focus on an intent together and release it together. But what we're also going to do is we're going to write a magic spell. It's officially time to step into spellcrafting. Not for the first time, but this is definitely something that we're going to be implementing. Where every ceremony, we'll be writing another magic spell. So you can burn the paper. I have an actual magic journal that I've dedicated to writing spells. Okay. The mechanism behind spells is formulating your creative intent to write down said intent and manifest through the energy. Oh, my bad, Gwendolyn. I didn't edit this right. So there are no live readings for this. Let me take this off. My bad. I put that in the description box. I'm not going to be doing live readings. Gwendolyn, I'm going to email you the tarot card since you paid right now. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing any. I don't really do live readings for ceremonies. So no worries. But I totally will fulfill this. Once the ceremony is over, I will email you your card. But other than that, I have an actual book, and I totally recommend you get a book. You don't have to do this. All right, thank you, Ryan222. You don't have to get a book, a special. It doesn't have to be special. You don't even have to really save the spell you write. But for those of you who want to take spellcrafting seriously, you know what I'm saying? Some of you already have a spell book. If you take this seriously, I'm just getting into it personally. So the mechanisms, yeah, we could totally dance. We could totally kick it. The mechanism behind spell crafting is you write your intent, right? Honestly, whether you write it directly, like this is what I intend, or you make it rhyme and it's creative, the whole facet of it is charging your energy through the saying of the spell and through repetition, strengthening it. So you say the spell with the results you want from the spell, and you feel it all over your body, feel yourself charged with that energy, and then you say the spell, and then you can repeat it at certain intervals so it's stronger. And this is the whole, and I'm a bit amateur in saying this, I'm not like a super master yet, but that's the whole mechanism behind even having a spell book. You can have different types of spells, or I'm going to turn to page 76 with my offensive spells or defensive spells, and you can say them. But the power that comes from saying the spell comes from repetition. You don't have, some of you are strong, you can write it once and it'll be strong, but the repetition of pouring the energy in this spell for the designated effect. So keep that in mind. We're going to write our first spell together. It may not be your first spell ever, but it's going to be our first spell together. It could be a spell about anything, and the only thing that I request as homework is whatever spell you write, make it meaningful to you. I'm personally going to write like a blessing spell. So when I say this spell, the area around me will be blessed with positive energy. Okay. So in order to strengthen this spell every day, and you don't have to do this every day, it's going to depend on how strong you want it, but every day until the full moon in Sagittarius, say the spell with all your heart and being, even if you can't get all of it at first, just to strengthen it. Okay. The rules behind how many times you have to say the spell is all up to you. I'm just giving you an idea, but that's all we're really going to do. Once again, the nature of the contract that I have signed with High Vibe TV makes it so that there's certain exclusivity rights and also facets of competition that I have to make sure I'm not necessarily really dishonoring. So I don't see that as a bad thing. I'm fully committed to High Vibe TV. So this is definitely a brand that I trust and rock with. If you like the Peace Dealer, you're going to see a lot of exclusive content on there. So it's totally advised and recommended. Once again, I highly recommend you check out the link in my description box below if you'd like to join. Yes, there is a free trial period. It is where you can get daily horoscopes that I've been doing daily for a while. And I just recorded the weekly astrology horoscopes if you're interested in those too. And I'm going to be adding so much series there as well. So, yep. Before we go into the ceremony, I just want to talk a bit about this transit. And please, if possible, I would totally request that you all pat yourselves on the back. There we go. Using/writing spells is a great form of subconscious programming/self-hypnosis, hence why it manifests. Genius insight. Very true, Victoria. Someone said, so no Patreon anymore, Magical Mike? No, I still have Patreon. I still have Patreon. I'm going to be changing the $33 tier. So for those of you who are a part of the $33 tier, I'm going to be having a convo with y'all. I'm doing monthly horoscopes, personal monthly horoscopes, but I want to change it to something else. Maybe, how would you guys feel about maybe a live Patreon, a monthly or bi-monthly or bi-weekly, like live Patreon live, if you're 33, we'll think of something. But other than that, definitely a great time and period to pat yourselves on the back, because we are stepping into the 2020 portal activation. Okay. this 2020 portal, spells in a way are practical placebo emotion. Yes, with extra dose of magic. It's interesting because Sagittarius is doing spells is not entirely placebo because y'all are just super magical, but there is some placebo in the effect in the form of belief. But keep that in mind. Danielle Love said, is it just the moon ceremonies or is it the transits too? Transit Talk will be moving to High Vibe TV, but Transit Talk will be more pre-recorded. So I'll still do like live Transit Talks. They're just not going to be as long. They're just going to be more, to the point, and they'll direct you to the High Vibe videos. But other than that, it's very, 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 very important that you kind of give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a hug, really rejoice and celebrate with those you care about, because this 2020 portal is really going to step you into a very magical element of yourself and everything that you have come to learn about the world around you. Okay. I really don't know how else to say this. Okay. But we are entering into new magical worlds. And how do I say this? This 2020 portal is opening the doorway for you to explore magical new worlds. Whether you explore these worlds through your imagination, which is the Pisces realm, could be accessed through vision, Sagittarius, through real analyzation in this real realm, or through the mind, Gemini. The analyzation is Virgo. But this is kind of weird to say because like Neptune's in its sign, Jupiter's in its sign, Mercury's in its sign, Saturn's in its sign. And this is literally like bringing back a fundamental original energy that might not have been around since, the Atlanteans. And this is going to bring back to the forefront certain primordial energies and constructs that our ancestors gained mythology and folklore from, in an effort to bridge the old pantheons and new pantheons, if you even believe in pantheons, and really just set the stage for a dramatic galactic war that has everything to do with your conscious evolution. Because remember, we're all part of a collective. And what makes this the 2020 portal is that from now until December, you are preparing to recalibrate your energy to really become this higher, greater, conscious being. It's not necessarily as simple as I want to be better, and so I'm going to change my life. As much as you being guided in this divine process to do so. Shout out to Maruma too. I call bullshit. Pimp my matrix, baby. Quality tea. She's just going to do a retreat in Peru. Make sure y'all hit that up. And other than that, it's a great period to kind of not really throw away what you know, but be prepared with an open mind to come into greater understanding of facets and topics you thought you knew about, but you're going to see in such a more magical way. And this is very important because as it concerns magic, your understanding of magic is going to change drastically because your understanding of yourself has changed drastically. And it's going to be this activation that we trigger right now and as well to align your energies with that of the highest good. I hate to say the highest good because good or bad doesn't exist outside of subjective relativism. But for the highest peak energy. Oh, that's so vague. But other than that, what's really going to help in the activation of this is to now start to expand your vision of yourself. And you know what this means? It means you watching this right now. Okay. I love that. The PD kicking us out of the nest. Get ready. It's so true. Um, what's occurring right now is that you're going to realize the dreams, you watching me right now. Thank you for granting me the honor and privilege of sharing space with you. Your dreams are not big enough. I don't even hate to break this to you. Your dreams are not big enough. Your vision is not high enough. You are fundamentally shortchanging yourself. There's a goal that you have right now, and you may not have realized you are so much greater than the lofty ambitions that you've placed. But you need to experience that. You need to see into the possibilities of what you can accomplish. And that's what this 2020 portal is for. That's what this Gemini season new moon cycle is going to accomplish. And this is really what's going to show you, Jupiter Sagittarius, how divine Neptune and Pisces you truly, Gemini, are. I break this down like such an astro nerd. It's so very important because a whole lot of how you move forward, and just like Blue Frame Integration said, activation time is not only going to define your belief and how much you truly connect with the magical forces around and within you, but it's definitely going to align a lot of what it is you really feel you're meant to do. So keep that in mind, because with so much mutable energy, your mind is going to be changed. That's the whole facet of this new moon in Gemini. You're changing your mind. Okay, if it was just the Gemini new moon, it'll be one thing. Okay, but it's the Gemini new moon on Mercury square Neptune opposite Jupiter. You are being prepared to expand your awareness and your perceptual understanding of reality, so that when a talking unicorn rips a fabric in the whole of time and space, walks out that bitch and starts talking to you, you don't freak the hell out, because you've gone through such great awakening and expansion that you might talk to this horse, and you're not really going to be afraid because you've gone through experiences that have literally prepared you for this moment. There is a divine order, and that's debatable right now, that governs the forces and flow of this universe and existence that we experience. Okay. And this divine order is what sets the synchronicity of life and allows us to experience duality. Shout out to Astro Pluto Queen. Okay. In that, you, through the illusion of separation, feel that events are random, when, like a clock that moves through a gear, every single event, experience, and anything that occurs is synchronistically intertwined and interconnected in action. This is something that higher zodiac signs can see because they have greater awareness. And you are now going to be brought into seeing your place in this synchronistic divine connection. Shout out to Tone Mellow TV. Okay. So really, really keep that in mind. It's quite amazing if you even contemplate the mechanics and metaphysics of being able to experience existence. Your body, shout out to Monica. Monica sent me one of the dopest articles I've read in a long time yesterday, I believe, about how, this reality is influenced by your thoughts, and the body does not create because the body is created. Your physical body is an effect, and everything that is existing here now, made up of energy particles, shout out to David Palmer, energy is truth, is only existing because it's being observed. Okay? In that, just like when you watch television, yeah, let me share the link to that article. When you watch television, you're actually like watching movies, seeing frames at a time. You're not necessarily seeing the process of each frame being put, because that's how animation works. And apparently reality works in a similar quality, to where energy is just constantly, materializing and dematerializing at intervals of time that are too quick for your human consciousness to perceive, or so you think. So keep that in mind as well. Shout out to Sun So Astrology. Every time I shout out Maru, what's up with that? Every time I shout out Maru, she shows up like shortly after. What's up with that, Maru? Why are you just so magical? But other than that, really, really keep that in mind, because the whole magic of experiencing reality and existence is so profound. A transit like this is going to really tap you into this like never before. Okay. And it's super important, once again, because when it comes to how well you define your relationship with existence and these facets of, quantum physics, it's not necessarily going to, isn't that the same thing when you think about something and an ad or a video of your thought pops up on your phone? That's just some next level shit too. Like, I totally feel you on that. There's so many angles with which you could take that. I'm commenting this link in the live chat and also in the comments as well. So yeah, it's important because, if you're not observing something, then technically it doesn't really exist. And what makes it exist is its observation. This unequivocally, and this is a reach, but this unequivocally proves the existence of watchers. You create a dimensional construct and simulation. And so now you have to have watchers and entities who watch outside the dimensional space, so that through their observation, the energy just doesn't disappear. Okay. If, in case you ever wonder, and I may not realize how dumb what I'm saying is, but it feels smart. In case you ever wonder why you close your eyes and everything is still here, there's other people observing it. But if everyone on the earth stopped observing, they're still going to observe through their body, right? Your body can sense the stuff not in ways you see with your eyes. So there's always an observing sense, right? But think of the whole facet of watchers. Aquarius moons, Aquarius suns, Sagittarius moons, Sagittarius suns, Leos and Pisces, they tap into the watcher energy. They can discern these energies. They can actually interact with them. So keep that in mind, because the whole facet of watchers, the whole facet of primordial entities and energies are now shifting from mythological concepts to psychic, scientific, real based, testable, actual thingies. I try to make that sound super smart and failed, but yes, it's the whole shift behind myth into reality. It's the whole shift behind taking what was misunderstood and making full sense of this. Okay. And Astro, before you do, shoot me an email and I'll hook you up with a discount. So keep that in mind. Jupiter, because when we talk about cycles, okay, there's a new moon occurring right now under our nose. In fact, the timing of this is just super magical because we're doing this perfectly. So we have the energy captured right now, but you have to understand that this energy is going to last through the whole cycle. So it's not just the energy happened today and then tomorrow it's a different energy. It's a cycle that definitely continues forth. And for so long, many of you have had this whole dynamic with which you understand the deepest wisdom of metaphysical practice, of like, deeper space science and stuff that is like so profound, but you didn't know how to articulate it You didn't know how to put it into words. A watcher is, I want to say, a creator class entity that is able to watch dimensional constructs. And in this case, a watcher is a creator class entity that can see into every realm, every dimension. They watch our world. They have to watch objectively so that they can see the events that occur in our world. And as humans, we're going to probably see them as like humanoid figures. But they don't actually even have to have physical constructs. They're just beings that exist. I know this because I have no proof, and that's how I know. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's very important because, you know, some of you tap into wisdom, especially if you're Scorpio, Pisces, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so hard to articulate. It's near impossible to articulate. In fact, the way some of these energies are designed is in a way, in order to protect the mystery, that it is impossible to articulate. There's some things that you can derive wisdom from that are not meant to be said. And the more you talk about it, the more confusing it is. That's the mechanism behind Neptune. All right. Neptune is inherently confusing because it's not meant to be understood. This is why, to this day, spirituality is a big mystery. Not even spirituality, like the occult, like certain facets of spiritual energy and modalities. It's a mystery because the heart of it is not meant to be understood. It's meant to be experienced, and it is meant to be subjective, which robs the objectivity away from being able to label and put it in a box. You can, and that's the thing. Like when we talk about scientific explanation, when we talk about delineation, when we talk about analyzation, which is all Virgo and Aquarius, this isn't an effect to pick apart something, break something down, deconstruct the understanding of it in order to label it based on our understanding and perception as a being, as a human being, as whatever. But we're dealing with forces that cannot be put in a box. We're dealing with infinite sources of energy that cannot be colloquially understood. And so some of you are frustrated because you can't make sense of energy that doesn't have words in the English language, when you actually need to be excited about the fact that you could tap into it in the first place. Okay, so keep that in mind. You're still in a society that thinks it could put God in a box. Literally, think of an ant farm, and the ants are trying to put the human in that ant farm. It's not possible. It cannot be done. It's not meant to be done. You are operating in a universe with trillions of galaxies where a divine order is set, and you are a part of the synchronistic co-creational connection of energies. So you cannot live life trying to understand fully instead of just going with the flow and experiencing. Because when you do that, that's how you understand. So keep that in mind. It is not your job to figure out all the answers. It's your job to align yourself with your destiny and focus on that. I'm saying that to myself as well, because I think I know it all. I definitely want to know it all. Like I definitely want all the answers. And it's just something that in this path you realize as a truth seeker that, you know, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, blah, blah, blah. But like you're going to really start developing a relationship with entities that for the longest time you thought was just nothing. For example, the space around you. You cannot really see air. You can see wind gusts, right? But you're going to start to understand and know the space around you as an entity. Right now, there is an omnipresent entity that is looking you square in the face. It's been around since you were born. It's been around since your grandparents were little babies. It is a omnipresent, omniversal entity that has existed since before the beginning of all time, and you have spent the most time with it. It has spent the most time with you, and I'm talking about the air around you. Okay? How many of you interact with the air like it is conscious and like it's sentient? You wouldn't even think that it was. You just think it's air. And this is the air of science, which has taught you to look at elements. And that's not to shit on science. Like, so obviously, we know scientists have made breathtaking discoveries, as well as they've criticized each other for misunderstanding of things. But the whole purpose of this portal, the whole purpose of these magical new realms, isn't even as much as you venturing out in different places, as far as seeing things differently. For example, people with moon and Gemini energy, people with sun and Gemini energy, they can communicate with anything. I can communicate with this pen. It's like the Fullbring arc and Bleach. Like every single thing that exists has energy. We know this is true. Everything is made of particles. Everything is made of particles. Not everything has a spirit, right? Spirit is the fire that will invigorate and give life to something, and that now it's a living thing. The thing that differentiates this book right here with a plant is that a plant has a spirit and it's alive. This does not have a spirit, so it's not alive. However, it has energy. This is comprised of energy, which makes up the atoms that make up the material that's here. It's solid, but that's really an illusion because it's all energy, which doesn't make it any less solid. But other than that, what's fascinating about this is that even though this doesn't have a spirit, it has energy, and therefore it has a soul. It's not a human soul. We don't have to characterize what soul is in the energy of this, but you can communicate with souls. That doesn't mean that your book is talking to you, right? If a book had a soul, is it going to speak English? Does it know English? It's going to emit a frequency. So keep that in mind. This portal is taking things that you have experienced your whole life, and it's going to have you look at every single thing fundamentally in a fresh, new way. And so let's bring it back to the air. Do you know the wind that is nourishing your lungs right now? And the reason that you're alive, because if you don't breathe oxygen, you will die, is an omniversal, omnipresent entity. Do you now see why Aquarius rules knowledge? Because you have air that is everywhere at once. Every single strand of air is connected across the whole world and beyond space outside the atmosphere. And it's one of the only constructs that is everywhere at once and aids in how it knows everything. That's just one layer and one level of it. But have you seen it as a conscious, sentient being? It doesn't, you can't see it like you see other beings, but does it make it less sentient? And this is what's going to be challenging. This is where we step into Uranus, which is connotated with craziness, and Neptune, which is connotated with strangeness. Because once you start to understand, you're breathing in particles from the universe as we speak. Once you start to understand the inner working of these entities and energies, you start to realize that they deviate a lot outside of the traditional norms that are needed, quote unquote, to provide structure, stability, and balance. People think they want anarchy until things go out of control, and now you're wishing for order. So let's give Saturn its respect. However, you have to remember that these facets that are extra dimensional are inherently a part of you, and you can no longer keep suppressing them in favor of being normal, because it doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't. That's how you drive yourself crazy. Yeah. And so some of you are going to feel a bit afraid because the simultaneous acceptance of these themes are going to be met with you feeling like you're crazier. You're feeling stranger. And that's a good sign because you're inevitably going to integrate this as you become a new normal. Okay. Order is existence of both at the same time. Amen. Like Lady Rain started said. So just really keep that in mind. What has been so difficult to really put into words will not anymore with this cycle. And let me tell you why. Mercury it's good enough that we have this new moon in Gemini, but Mercury is involved at the tail end of Gemini. So high intellectual rationalization and realization of divine archetypes and unseen energies are going to be made so plainly relevant. And the blessing here is we don't have Virgo to nitpick at certain details. Once we get into September of this year, we're going to get the details. But this is so amazing. Lose yourself. Amen. This is so amazing because you are now going to finally gain understanding of unseen energies that will fully evolve the field of psychology to new depths and to the next level, and quantum physics as well. And this is super important because when we talk about the fourth house of astrology, we talk about understanding. Capricorn fundamentally understands Libra. Libra understands Cancer. Taurus understands Aquarius, even though they clash and they don't always get along. Leo understands Taurus. Gemini and Pisces. In fact, whenever Pisces comes to the real realm, it needs Gemini because Pisces doesn't speak English. Okay, Pisces speaks it just purely emotes. It just speaks in vibes. It doesn't even speak in words. It just speaks in vibes. But Gemini can translate that. And then Gemini's like, oh, what my Pisces goddess friend was saying is she's not really the most comfortable in your dimension. You guys like to fight a lot. Okay, you can work that out. Thank you. All right, so that's not really the language. I'm just using an example, but like Gemini is the foundation of truth with which this diffuse Piscean vibration can now gain understanding through logic and to actually articulate what is being felt. And so seeing this transit with Mercury square Neptune is giving you a logical understanding of unseen energies and the wisdom of magic and feelings. On top of that, Neptune is the fourth house of Sagittarius, to where this divine understanding of energy is giving you a supernaturally great receptivity to what you see. And so the reason why you're going to start to be seeing more clearly orbs that float around, energy, more so that you do, and just the meaning, you'll be seeing through the meaning of what people do, is because we have Jupiter squaring Neptune. Jupiter, high in Sagittarius, is shining the light of meaning and shining it towards Neptune and Pisces, whereas it was just Neptune and Pisces able to operate in the darkness of non-reality or being invisible. Now Jupiter is squaring it because it's like, oh, we can see you now, homie. That's why, like, if you ever want to have fun, just watch a Sagittarius and a Pisces interact with each other. They don't even have to exchange words. It'll be the most magical thing ever. Even when they fight with each other, just listen to like the philosophical debates they have. It's hilarious, but it's also like riveting and super profound. Even if they're like talking about nothing, it's like everything, because you're taking such high metaphysical conceptual energies they represent and you're taking meaning in existence, and you're starting to really see these kind of delve into multiple unlimited possibilities and dimensions. Okay. Only Pisces can truly understand Sagittarius, because Pisces is the only sign that understands God. Okay. So keep that in mind. You are now not only going to see into certain facets of your existence that have always been a part, but you're looking at with new eyes or updated eyes. I don't like to see it as new eyes. I like to see it as, instead of using a bootleg TV, now you've hooked up a 4K quality television. So it's like you still see the same image, but now you see it so much clearer. Now you start to see details you didn't see before, and it's lit. Now we have this Gemini energy that's literally going to give you like logical understanding. And I don't think you guys know how much we have needed this. Oh my gosh. And this is what's going to make it hard for certain people to finesse you. This is what's going to make it difficult for certain people to deceive you. Aquarius understands Scorpio. This is why Scorpio and Aquarius beef so much, because Aquarius understands Scorpio, but Aquarius is still detached. So even though they understand Scorpio, they don't really do things the way Scorpio will. And that understanding will be there, but it's like it's still a clash, but it's still a strong connection. And Scorpio understands Leo, and Leo understands Taurus, and Taurus understands Aquarius. So if you want to know what sign understands the other sign, just look at their fourth house. Virgo understands Gemini, the needs of Gemini, all that. So, we're going to understand the what, but what we're going to need to know is how. And that's going to come subsequently throughout the next few months as we step into Virgo season. So all I have to say, we're going to start the ceremony. I love that we have 400 plus people watching. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit biscuits. It's going to be super lit biscuits. I got the 3 of Cups. So it's going to be a celebration. We're going to party here. Okay. I want you to, 4th house is magic AF. That's so true. I want you to just feel your energy draining down, any stress, let the earth take it. And moving forward, everyone hit the like button. Like Chad said, if you haven't hit that like button yet, please hit that like button. Let's show our presence. The last thing that I want to say is that, first of all, thank you so much for supporting me thus far. Once again, it really means a lot. We're 30,000 strong here. I have never personally bought followers or paid for views. So I'd really like to know how many of these subscribers are real profiles. Because the way this kind of grew was organic. It never really just shot up. It's like steadily grown. But for those of you who really do connect, thank you so much. Like it's really humbling just to kind of see how far we've gone. Shout out to Steve Libby. And he put out a new guided meditation or binaural beats. Make sure you hit that up. It's going to be great for this new moon. And other than that, the only thing I really want to Flower, you'd be so surprised. The only thing that you want to be careful, I don't know if they still do it, but before we start this ritual, the reason why that this is going to take on a real supernatural quality is because of Uranus in Taurus. So it's not that the supernatural energy and experience that is a part of our evolution is just occurring out of nowhere. It's been occurring for the last few decades, but it's been in the fire realm. Now that this is shifting into Earth, once Jupiter comes into Capricorn and Uranus is in Taurus, the sextiles they'll be making to Neptune is making physically tangible this energy we've been sensing that's coming in, that's bringing us to our greatest selves. And I just kind of really, once again, wish and ask that you carry this more seemingly unrealistic element to this. Okay, when I say seemingly unrealistic, we're going to send an intent right now. And this intention that I want you to send and make, right? That I encourage you to send and make, you definitely want to intend for what the next month wants you want to be. Anything practical, like if you want to work out more next month, if you have certain specific objectives and goals, intend for that. But I want you to also intend something specific to your own magical ability that you will be able to break through and understand in a new way. So when I say seemingly unrealistic, this is why I said right now, many of you are going to realize your dreams are not big enough. I love to break it to you, but you watching me right now, Demi Green, I was talking about Steve Libby, Starborn Messenger. Okay. Once again, by the way, Steve is a true one. Once again, though, mysteries are being revealed. Very true. Once again, it's important you understand your dreams are not big enough. I don't even hate to break it to you. Like you think your ambitions are huge. And for some part they are, but beloved, they're really not. You're shortchanging yourself. You are this week alone, you are about to uncover aspects of yourself that you didn't even know existed. That's going to fundamentally make you reevaluate everything you wanted. So when I say seemingly unrealistic, some of you need to set the intention that I will fly, not I can fly. I will physically project and levitate my 180-pound body or 150 or however much you weigh body up into the air. The reason why it's going to be facets of yourself you didn't know you existed is because this new moon cycle has a 12th house supernatural aspect to the Gemini sun. And Uranus, 12th house to the sun, is going to stimulate unconscious latent energy in the way you think and connect your physiological response with your mind to advance this. Okay? Every single one of your psychic gifts are going to evolve. And it doesn't have to be vague. I mean, if it doesn't even have to be psychic gifts. If you're great at presenting, if you're great at making PowerPoints, if you're great at writing, you're going to realize I'm so much better at writing. I'm so much better at rapping. I'm so much better at dancing. I'm so much better at reading cards. I am so much better at psychically intuiting into situations. I don't even need to read cards. It just comes. My intuition is so much more on point. You have to understand this is happening real time. This isn't coming out of nowhere. Jupiter in Sagittarius is now taking these latent abilities and with the opposition, fully expanding it out. You want to think of the opposition as drawing out the full talent. And now what's going to transform is this is a new moon cycle with which we have a quincunx. The Cancer new moon, we're not going to have a quincunx. The Leo new moon, we're going to have a quincunx with Neptune. The Virgo new moon, we're not going to have a quincunx. It's going to be with Chiron. But, Cancer, there's no Aquarius. So the most powerful quincunx that we are having is happening right now, baby. Mercury is 26 degrees. And with the sun and moon, it is literally quincunxing Saturn and Pluto. Please comment a fire sign emoji if you know how incredibly influential that is. We're talking about light codes that are being beamed from Neptune and Jupiter to your mind is now setting you up to fundamentally transform forever how you really contextualize your reality. And it's going to take those latent energies, 12th house in Taurus, and trine it with Capricorn. So this, I have just broken down how and why supernatural abilities are going to express themselves. It's sparked Aries season. The seeds were sown Taurus season last year, right? And then it reinforced this year. Jupiter went into Sagittarius. fueled the rocket ship to now evolve you, because ascension is Sagittarius. Now we're in Gemini season, to where this can now manifest in your experience. And now we're going to manifest our experience of supernatural ability, like, wow, this is possible. I can do this. And then we're going to go into Cancer season, and you're going to receive the greatest power bestowal of all time. And you're going to literally receive greater power, like, whoa, I can do anything. And then we're going to go into Leo season, and you're going to feel so swaggy. Oh my goodness. And then we're going to go into Virgo season. We're going to put it all together. Then we're going to go to Libra season. And then we're going to share this with others. And then we're going to go to Scorpio season, and we're going to transform our lives. And then we're going to go to Sag season, and we're going to embark on the greatest adventure ever. And then we're going to go to Cap, and then we're going to take it to the White House. Bia! And you guys are going to experience probably like the craziest, most violent, ridiculous election process ever. Because if you don't know, Hillary versus Trump round 2 is coming. All that pent up emotion and people being bitter and salty that Trump won, or that Hillary lost, or that Bernie lost, it's all gonna come back up. And you about to 444. Anyway, keep that in mind. Beloved, your dreams are not big enough. And that's the whole purpose of this transit. Please comment this below as it occurs. I don't really just want to be, sitting behind a computer screen yakking my mouth on what I think's going to happen. I truly appreciate feedback. This is why I'm so grateful for y'all, because I don't have the greatest awareness. I just channel this. So as I channel it, it's not like I know about it more than you. So when you guys give me your feedback with your higher awareness, it makes my day. It's like, oh, wow, this is how to contextually make sense of what I've been sharing with y'all. So keep that in mind, because you're going to fly this week. Whether physically, whether you take a business off the ground and it blows up and you're flying, and you're like Kodak, who's a real angel who finally got his wings. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fly. And when you fly high, you're going to look at your goals of wanting a new Tesla to take you from A to B. And you're going to be like, damn, my dreams weren't big enough. I don't need this Tesla. I can teleport my body non-locally across like 500 miles in an instant. Because I learned the secret of my nodes, and I know how to geographically place energy. I'm totally pulling out my ass. Or you can realize, damn, I can literally fly. So I don't really need the transportation I thought I needed. Damn, I just created a new business that doesn't need any startup capital and has completely made me financially independent. So I don't need that promotion that I swear I needed. And this is why, beloveds, you need to stop stressing spirit with stuff that you've intended and stuff that you've prayed for that's not coming to fruition, because spirit is not going to block you. In terms of love, spirit is not trying to cock block you. If there's somebody who you've tried to get with and it hasn't worked, I mean, yeah, there's facets where there could be error. You might have done something wrong and you just need to do better. But if you're trying to get with somebody and it's not working, move on. And don't do this whole like I can't move on shit, because there's billions of other people and spirit is ready to connect you with the right people. Like it's the energy is ripe here. I'm totally guilty of not being able to like let go, except I'm not, because I have 12th house Taurus energy, so I can totally blame it on my astrology. A lot of y'all have the nerve to be like, stop blaming aspects on astrology. Stop blaming facets of your bad behavior on astrology. That just lets me know you don't know astrology. Like when you really, like when people say stop blaming stuff on aspects, there's certain aspects you have to blame on the chart. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? Like if somebody is like if someone is just like blatantly unfocused, or they might be a little bit infidelis, or they do some wild stuff and they have mutable sign energy, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, there you go. You know what I mean? Like if somebody is just too rigid and fixed, you kind of got to blame it on their fixed sign energy. I'm sorry. The message is still true though. Like, you can do better. You're not chained by it. But you got some 12th house fixed sign energy. It's gonna be hard for you to let go. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. You got too much mutable energy, you're not gonna be able to focus. That's all I'm saying. You're better off finding someone to focus for you. Just saying, it is what it is. But just like Lady Rainstar said, our chart is ours to master, regardless. Okay. The reason why I am saying there's going to be some serendipitous event that occurs is because we have an opposition to Jupiter. Period. We have a quincunx to Jupiter and a yod that's forming. Did you guys notice that? We have an unofficial yod. It is this finger of God that's pointing at the sign of God. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is so amazing. We have the psychic energy of Cancer, the grounded energy of Taurus, and the enlightened energy of Gemini, focusing your awareness to pinpoint and expand your whole reality as you ascend. This aspect is why you're serendipitously going to walk to work and find a winning lottery ticket for $1 million. Like, do you see now how an aspect like this changes your perception? Because before then, you were already planning based off of the hours you have to work. And now you step into an experience that fundamentally transforms your whole aspect. That's why some of you feel blocked. Some of you are like, I don't know the way to move forward, when you need to just surrender, because there's nothing. Spirit is taking you to a higher level than you can perceive. So all you can do is just allow. You don't have to wait. Keep doing what you're doing, but just allow the next thing to come in. Okay. Once again, this is purely Jupiter and Sagittarius that's going to create a very serendipitous occasion. And you'll know because you feel into it. This is that Neptune square. Neptune in Pisces is having you feel energy outside of space and time. Okay, space being Aquarius, time being Capricorn. So it's literally like you're feeling stuff before it's going to happen. You're feeling the true state of it. And the true state of it can clash with what you see physically now, which is why you have to have faith in what's to come. But not just expect things to happen. You still have to master your reality. So trust me when I say, okay, you're going to be wanting to get with somebody who fulfills the superficial egoic desires of your spirit, but then get with somebody who may not be your type, but makes you feel better than what you thought you wanted. And that requires some surrender. It requires some release. Okay. Case in point, when we have the Cancer new moon, or when we have other new moons, we're not going to have any major planets in the 12th. So the theme of release and surrender won't be here. But this one, you're having to surrender an old reality. Okay. So most important thing I have to say, because you guys deserve this. Like, congratulations. Some of you are going to feel like, is this really meant for me? Because it's so powerful. But you may not have realized that you worked for this. You have been putting in so much intentional work that it's really finally ready to come through. And it's always been ready to come through. So when I say finally, it's not like now is exclusive to other times. But I just really want you to kind of accept completely that Jupiter's quincunxing, like Uranus, even if it's not exact, is reality shifting. It's transforming reality so that when it trines it in Capricorn, it sets the new one. So I really want you to understand that your whole reality, this 2020 portal, the purpose of the 2020 portal is to enact the quincunx with Uranus and Taurus and Jupiter and Sag, which over the next 6 months is fundamentally going to change your reality. Like, the reality you're going to be in will not be recognizable at all. And then Jupiter is going to go into Capricorn and it's going to anchor this new world, bam, so that through the next cycle you build it. And that's why I'm saying, okay, a lot of you may be feeling like certain things have reached its end. And that's because there's a whole new beginning. And with Mercury, that is a part of this new moon, God, Mercury wasn't in Cancer or back in Taurus, and it's in Gemini. This is going to quintessentially spark new truth, a new cycle of amazing truth that will make sense of the most abstract divine concepts that are literally meant to confuse you. But because Gemini's putting it in check, you'll be like, hey, Pisces, no, don't do that wishy-washy thing. Hold on now. Hold it now. Hold it now. But it's all good. Anyway, I can feel spirit rolling its eyes at me. I don't understand what that's all about. But rest in peace to Love Jan Live's partner who passed in March. Okay. Goddess Essence Energy said it best. We've been getting prepared. So we're now stepping into the next 17 years of cycles that really brings in this greater existence, because it's such a huge milestone, but we're still barely just getting started. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's really just what I want to present you with. This is the last season before we step into an eclipse that will never be the same, ever. And this is where you start to be aware of changes that have been happening for 6 months and really 6 years, because we're really bridging in from Jupiter and Gemini. That's now opposite. Okay. So it's the first new moon that we've had in Gemini since Jupiter has been in Gemini 6 years ago. Okay. Based on that transit. So in that sense, what are the visions that you gained in 2012? This is the world you're finally stepping into now. And it's been an honor to serve with y'all. It's definitely been a huge honor. You have to understand this dimension is the lowest, or I mean, in the lower realms. So our higher selves are connecting. Our higher selves, different facets of ourselves, have fought literal wars in other realms and dimensions. And we're now integrating our understanding of stuff, integrating facets of ourselves we didn't even know existed. Some of you have a literal dragon self. Some of you attract animals that literally have your soul essence in them. And so the last thing, there's so much more I want to say, but the last thing I want to say before we step into this, you're a double agent if you rep one side, but or another. The last thing I want to say, shout out to Sharon in the building, is that I want you to look at everything that makes up your reality and start to really see it, okay, as sentient. When you and it's going to be hard for me to do, because my lesson is to learn focus. That's why as a Gemini, like, I have so much more to learn, because I need to learn how to focus for real. Like, when people talk to me too, and actually listen to them and not just be like, yeah, yeah, okay. I swear you guys don't know what it's like to be a Gemini. And if you're a Gemini or you're a Gemini moon, I want you to comment an exclamation mark if I'm telling the truth. But every time people talk to Geminis, there's literally like spirits that come around us to try and distract us. There's literally like a fairy pixie that starts to come around us and like blocks us from trying to understand you. It's not our dark twin. It's literally like some kind of entity or energy that deliberately just tries to distract us and like blocks out words you say so we don't understand what you're saying. And so of course it looks like we lack attention and focus. And I'm not going to say that we don't, because we do, but you guys just don't understand the metaphysical dynamics with which we have these fairy beings just like literally trying to like block something. It's weird. I know Mercury Aquarius mentioned it a little bit, but yeah, okay. Versus a sign like Aquarius that's fixed, it's focused in there, so it can't get distracted. But other than that, I really want you to like take into consideration the sentience and the living reality of consciousness at whatever level you're comfortable with. If there's at least one thing you can leave with this talk, I want you to just move forward, continuing to acknowledge that the earth is a living being, a living conscious being. if you're here right now, it's because you specifically are here to revolutionize the vehicle of consciousness. And so as you interact with your elements, I'm going to tell you a secret to magic. The reason why you can harness magic is through belief. Belief is the key to activate everything you see and thus understand. And as such, the best way to truly step into this magical awareness, because this new moon is the first out of three, if not four. Yeah, the first out of three, technically the second out of four if you consider Pisces, but because Pisces was a part of the last cycle, this is the first out of three magical adjustments. We're taking three. The 2020 portal is to help you go through three magical adjustments that will adjust your awareness to perceive magic and harness this more into your lifestyle. Some of you are either already master magicians, so you'll be stepping into the final stage of your magic. Others of you are beginners, let's say like me, so you'll be learning how to integrate magic into adjusting into your reality, learning how to deal with signs, not being surprised by seeing angel numbers, but now being like, oh, 777, that means that's going to happen. And there's now a causality to this experience. Okay, so this magical adjustment series and this first out of it is not only meant to really align your focus and understanding of magic, but the first of three is to give you an initial awareness. So from now until September, this cycle is upgrading the level of magic that has been here forever, but is now updating, because just like computers need to update, magic updates as well. Okay. And so from now to September, you're gaining an understanding of what is magical in your life. You're going to understand the principles of magic as it pertains to your experience. From September to November, you're now going to analyze how to take what you've learned about magic and the questions that have arisen, the second magical adjustment of the 2020 portal. And this is where you're going to become real. This is when this magic is going to take a super real quality. It's already going to be real now, but the realness quality of it is going to be more so perceptual, where you're asking questions like, okay, I'm starting to experience my intentions coming forth so much more holistically, and I'm engaging more with these magical energies. The secret to magic is to know that the energy that you draw on from different realms and worlds exist and are real and are alive. The energy you draw from the element of air is alive. You're drawing from sentient energies. When you draw from tarot cards, when you interact with energy as it's conscious, this activates magic. So the Virgo second part of this adjustment shift is now analyzing and integrating realistically, tangibly, and practically this initial magical awareness. That's why the Gemini magical awareness is one of the best, in my opinion, because it's the part of a drug, whether you're taking a pharmaceutical ibuprofen pill or ecstasy, right, that was cooked up in a dirty lab. This is the part of the cycle when the pill initially hits you and it releases, and you have that perceptual change like, woo, wow, okay, all right, I like this. The Lover's card, right? We're going to get to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is when it's at its peak, and it's like, boo, 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 boo. Yeah! But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're going to get from ooh to all right. Now I'm adjusting. Now I'm perfecting it. Okay, this is it. This is moving through the experience as we raise to peak. So that second part is the analyzation that goes into integrating what works for you, what doesn't work, how to really make real sense of this before you come into the meaning of it all. The third and final adjustment coming out the 2020 portal, where you now see the vision of what magic specific to you means. Okay, and honestly, magic is life, really. Magic, your whole understanding of magic. Many of you won't even call it magic by the time we get into Virgo season. But for now, Gemini, this Gemini new moon is the ecstasy pill or whatever substance, right, that you're intaking releases, and you get an initial shift. That's why I'm saying it's this transit that's going to incorporate new experiences that you haven't experienced before or didn't know how to experience. So, an example I can take is synchronicities. There was a time in my life that I didn't see synchronicities. There's a time in my life that I wasn't consciously aware of signs, right? The first time I saw that, it was a new experience. And then eventually I started to integrate it. And then eventually I started to know what its purpose was. Okay. And this is such a time. This is going to be like 2012 on steroids times 5. So serious. And the key here is new experience. So of course, I realized I've seen signs before, but I didn't know they were signs because I was unconscious. So it was influences that have always existed, but it was new to me. And this is going to bring new experiences, new gifts, new power that is based on a whole decade of perfecting your gifts. And so the foundation of this puts you on here. Case in point, many of you, for example, here's an example, okay? Let's say for the last 10 years, you've been performing. You've been out on the stage, rapping, singing, and you felt for the longest time that you were meant to be an entertainer, but the door's just not really opening for you. And then you walk through this portal and you become a public speaker and you find out you're so good at public speaking and you activate this great gift of public speaking and making the crowd feel wild. But that can only be possible because you spent the last 10 years building your skills, performing, learning how to rock a crowd, learning how to speak. Now, because you've learned how to do that, you have those natural abilities to public speak because you've built it. And yeah, you thought you were supposed to be an entertainer, but now your path has shifted. Yeah, you thought you were supposed to be working this or doing this or getting your PhD or getting your degree, and you still can. But it's like there's going to be a shift to the meaning and purpose of it. And you really just want to kind of go with that, right? Shout out to Miss Kiki. It's all a rich tapestry, 100%. Thank you guys so much. Like, we're 500 strong. I think this is a great way to end this last ceremony. So let's combine our energies. We got the 3 of Cups as I've pulled right now. So that is confirmation that whatever you intend is going to manifest. Okay. I'm going to pull one more when we're done, but we have the 7 of Wands. This is now saying that whatever victory you come up with, you have to defend. There are going to be people who see your success and they're like, oh, I want to do that. If this person can do that, I can do that. You need to defend what you've built. Okay. So many of you are going to see stuff that you didn't really see as a big deal. And you're going to see it for how big a deal it really is. Because you're freaking amazing if you don't already know that. Okay. So keep that in mind. And is there anything else I need to say? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stand up for what you believe. So other than that, you can start to get a book. You don't have to do this part now, by the way. You can do this after. The homework that I have for you is to, if you're serious about spellcrafting, okay, buy a special book. What I'm going to do is every morning that I wake up, I'm going to write a poem about my day. And that poem is going to serve as a magic spell. And I'm going to start to see if elements of my poem manifest in my day. Maybe at first they won't. Maybe after 3 months it won't. I'm not going to be so focused on the results as much as just the process of me expressing my thoughts. Maybe after the first day I notice it. The whole purpose isn't to be attached to the outcome, but just to live the experience. Where do I be channeling this from? Damn! Oh my God, I'm sorry, I got caught up. But anyway, you don't have to do all that. but we're going to make a magic spell. And whatever magic spell you make is your ride or die magic spell. Once again, I'm going to do a spell that's more so like a positive spell. So every time I say it, the effect that I intend to enact is an effect. I can use it if I feel the energy is dull or I need to clear out the energy and I just want to bless the energy in the room or just bless everything. It's going to be like a blessing spell. And it's going to be a spell that you want to read every day until the full moon in Sag to fully charge. But you don't have to read it every day. It's your spell. Do what you want with it. Okay, it can be any spell. And we're going to craft this. But before we craft this together, we're going to set an intention. Okay, so I want you to breathe deep down in your diaphragm. I'm going to actually play Steve Libby's Starborn Messengers binaural beats in the background. So it's called Visions of Atlantis, Chakra Clearing and Astral Projection Meditation. Okay, I'll put the link to that in the comment section below as well. So let's just all relax. Once again, it's important to note, be careful what you wish for because you will get it. It's not you just might, you will get it. So really see your intention as if it's already manifested and start to feel it. And now breathe this in, breathe this energy in down to your diaphragm and breathe out gratitude. Okay, so continue to maintain that. And I'm going to facilitate the gathering of these elements. Okay. I want you to slowly, I want you to, I want you to slowly feel the energy of the earth raise up your feet and up your diaphragm and reach to your crown slowly as we connect the earth. And now, as we gather the air energy and connect our energies, please hit that like button if you haven't yet already. We are now going to connect our energies, and as we do this, we'll exponentially strengthen the power of your intent. Be prepared for this to now supercharge your manifestation ability. I want you to feel and see white light that represents all our energies connected shoot down your crown and flow through your feet, connecting the earth and the air. Thus, the earth is grounding for you to take this electric energy in. So you're not like, oh. Simultaneously, I would like for everyone now to activate water and feel all of our energies connected. You can envision all of us holding hands. And if any of you have any Reiki healing modalities, you can now heal yourself. You can envision and feel waterfalls cleansing your energy. And so there's a huge channeled message that's coming through. And this is so important. Beloved, this is Neptune square Gemini. Okay? I need you to understand this. Things are not at all as they seem. And in order for us to move forward, you need to release doubt. I will not continue this ceremony until some of us, because I'm included too, release doubt. I want you to comment a question mark emoji if what I am about to say applies to you. Some of you are caught up in an existential crisis because you feel so powerfully that you are meant to and can do something that does not seem possible. And you're looking out towards other people as reference to learn how to do, but you will never find it because only you can do it. And it's like you don't know how to make real sense of it, so you let it go, but then you keep seeing signs and synchronicities that point you to the reality of this. I'm not talking about a desire. There's certain things that you desire and it doesn't make sense. I'm talking more about something specific to you. Okay? So comment a fire sign emoji, and it's very frustrating because you know deep inside you're meant to do it, but you don't believe in yourself because you don't think it's possible. So comment a fire sign emoji if you're ready to walk this magical path. This is a magical initiation, a 2020 portal. Everyone is revolutionizing consciousness. Comment a fire sign emoji if you understand fundamentally that you are the first person that's going to do this. The reason why it's so hard to understand is because you are the very first person that's going to do what you're trying to do, because there can only be one you. I hope that makes sense. You feel like you're bringing and birthing into this reality something that is seemingly impossible. Well, if you're ready, Shazam. Well, if you're ready to make the impossible possible, which is inherently linked to psychic and spiritual gifts that you have, you must believe it. You're worried about, how do I do it? How do I do it? Do you want to know how? There is no Virgo, so you don't have to know how. But there is Pisces, so what you have to do is believe. But some of you are afraid to believe because you know that what you're doing is seemingly impossible. For example, levitating your butt off of the ground and flying in the face of our 9.8 meters per second squared gravity that brings you down, shitting in the face of certain physical laws that you were taught govern your reality. You must believe. You don't have to know how to do all this complex stuff or complex jargon. All you have to do is believe and not rush the process. So if you're ready to believe, if you are ready to manifest a version of yourself that makes the impossible possible, because as ascension artists, that's what we do. We make the impossible possible. and then shrug it off like it's nothing. If you're ready, Apollodite has called upon some sacred light. We're going to activate the fire here. Apollodite has activated sacred light that you can call on. You don't have to call on it if you don't want to, but call in this white light of energy from the sun and let it emit from your heart and beam out your intentions. All right? And I want you to fully intend to step into this new magical reality. And like Colby said, let's rewrite this reality. Taking in the wisdom from our ancestors that works, throwing in the trash what doesn't, and integrating new awareness that creates the greatest experience that we can live. Who is my plug? Who is channeling through me? I'm sorry. I'm totally joking. So I want you to feel your intention rising up from within you. Lift your hands and release it to the stars. Some of you feel like you don't know what that intention is, but it's so big, it's hard to put into words. So just release the feeling of it. It's totally fine. We're all channeling together. That's so true, Colby. That's so true. Woo! Yeah! Congratulations. And now repeat after me. I am infinite. I am light. I am truth. Appreciate you, Chad. I am infinite. I am light. I am truth. I am infinite. I am light. I am truth. We are one. Thank you, sweet spirit of light. And now, I call upon the celestial forces of light and the divine mysteries of existence to unveil yourselves and show us your presence in our lives. Within 10 to 20 minutes of the end of this broadcast, share with us a definitive sign to point us in the right direction to go and to confirm mysteries of our heart and soul we felt for so long. And if you agree with this, repeat with me. And so it is. And so it is. And so mote it be. And so it is. Other than that, the final thing that we can do right now is to write our magic spell. And after you write your magic spell, you're welcome to leave and embark on this new magical journey. Thank you guys so much again. It's definitely been real. And I'm just so grateful for you all. I'm going to write my spell. I'm going to read it to all of you. And this is a blessing spell. So once you hear it, it's for the intent to fully bless your life and to bless energies around you. Okay. And after that, we'll close. So if any of you want to write your spell while I write mine, please feel free. All right. Magic spell. Ain't it crazy the timing of these trolls coming through? How they chose now? It's interesting. All right, one and all. All righty. So let me know what y'all think of this spell. Magic spell number 1. Much appreciated, Chad, for catching them. Much appreciated. Yeah. Appreciate you, Steve. Amazing, amazing, amazing meditation. Vroom, vroom, vroom. I love it. All right. Infinite light, infinite love, infinite truth. I bless the infinity that flows between me and you. It should be you and I grammatically, but infinite light, infinite love, infinite truth. I bless the infinity that flows between me and you. I bless the sun. I bless the moon. I bless the fire. I bless the water. I bless the air. I bless the earth. May all living beings in existence acknowledge, respect, and honor their worth. May all actions above be aligned below. May we all be guided and protected wherever we go. I call upon the cosmic forces of divine peace. Make this moment the greatest ever and celebrate with us an eternal victory and feast. I had to rhyme with peace, but bam! So I'm going to say the same spell to charge it and build the strength and focus and intent every day. And that's practicing spirituality. Making magic your habits. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm glad we were able to connect like so. I'm going to end this here as it is 10 over here. And I did say we would party. But for those of you who can probably dance or party a bit, definitely, you know, hit some dance tunes. Someone wanted me to read it again, so I'll do one more encore. If you all don't mind, I'll read this one more time before we close. Carrie, that's what's up. That's really what's good. All right. Infinite light, infinite love, infinite truth. I bless the infinity that flows between me and you. I bless the sun. I bless the moon. I bless the fire. I bless the water. I bless the air. I bless the earth. May all living beings in existence acknowledge, respect, and honor their worth. May all actions above be aligned below. May we all be guided and protected wherever we go. I call upon the cosmic forces of divine peace. Make this moment the greatest ever and celebrate with us an eternal victory and feast. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. You all stay highly blessed. Congratulations in advance for the miracles you're manifesting, as you yourself are the greatest miracle of all time. And until next time.